Good morning from here in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. It's a little bit after 10:30 local time here on Wednesday, February 8th. I finally made it here about 2 hours ago. Flew from San Pedro Sula, where I spent the night, and it was about a 45-minute flight. Very uneventful after the events of yesterday, which was good. So arrived here at the hotel probably about 9:15, and everything is fine, and we'll be reporting from here in the Honduran capital through Friday morning, and then I head back to San Pedro Sula for the last 2 days of my trip, and then I fly back to Miami on the 12th of February, which is Sunday. So I wanted to quickly share a little bit of an anecdote from last night's trip into San Pedro, and many folks may know it's known around the world as one of the most dangerous cities in the world for the violence that happens there, the pandillas and the drug trafficking that is quite prevalent in this country. It's really caused a lot of problems in San Pedro, and one of the things that we saw last night as we were driving into the city to our hotel, we were probably about 10 minutes from the airport. We were about halfway between the airport and the hotel, and all of a sudden we came upon cars that were in the road, and initially I thought it was an accident of some sort, and there were about probably about 8 of us in the shuttle van to the hotel from our flight that was canceled from San Salvador to here yesterday. At any rate, we came upon this scene, and initially again I thought it was some sort of an accident, and then all of a sudden a fairly young woman was taken out of the back seat of a car unconscious and put into a pickup truck that had parked nearby, and there were probably 2 to 3 dozen people, including kids and women, kind of gathered around. It seemed to be getting a little bit more I guess frenetic, or just a little bit more anxious as this started to unfold, and there were no police anywhere of which to speak, and it was just people coming onto the scene or just who had been there. I don't even know what it was. And then I saw somebody coming out of the pickup truck with what looked like a semi-automatic gun, not directed at us at all, but that was suddenly I saw that and thinking to myself, okay, this is probably not a traffic accident that we all initially had thought. So we were sitting there in the van kind of asking ourselves, what's going on, and yeah, I was a little bit anxious, to say the least, knowing the history of San Pedro and what goes on there. So at any rate, at about 5 minutes later, everybody just kind of started driving, and we passed the cars that were in the middle of the road, and there was no damage to them. So pretty safe to say that it was not an accident. I still have no idea what it was. I probably don't want to know what it was, and we continued on to the hotel, which was probably another 5 or 10 minutes away. So that was a very interesting experience last night here in Honduras, driving to the hotel in San Pedro. We're fine. Nothing happened, thankfully, but it certainly was a little bit interesting, to say the least, and even a little bit concerning once I saw the young man come out of the pickup truck with a semi-automatic machine gun or something. I don't know what it was, because I don't know guns. So yeah, that was quite an interesting few moments last night on the road to the hotel in San Pedro. Obviously, it's a very dangerous place, and one must take precautions, of course, but that we ultimately were fine, and the drive back to the airport this morning at about 5 o'clock this morning was absolutely uneventful. So that was good. So that's a little bit of an anecdote to share from my trip here in Honduras, and aside from that, everything has gone really well. I felt safe the whole time, and obviously you have to take precautions using taxis, staying at secure hotels and things of that sort, but yeah, everything is good, and I made it here safely, and we'll be reporting from here until Friday morning, and then I head back to San Pedro, and we'll fly back to Miami on Sunday afternoon. So hasta la próxima.